This becomes the prime responsibility of the Muslim Ummah. So we find the ayat telling us that, and this is thus that we appointed you to the community of the middle way, ummatan wasatan. The Quran makes it very clear that Muslims are that moderate, balanced and middle ummah which has been given the responsibility or the mission of communicating Islamic message to whole of humanity. I always say that Islam is not a matter of monopoly of Muslims. Muslims often think that Sharia is for them. No, Sharia for the whole of humanity. Muslims think Sharia laws are for them. No. If we look into Sharia laws, every single Sharia law has the capacity which makes it applicable, beneficial for every human being. If Sharia says, do not steal, and if you steal, cut the hand of thief. Should we say that this Sharia hukum or had is for Muslims only, and our fellow Hindus, fellow Christians, fellow Buddhists have full liberty to develop professional theft and do all kind of stealing professionally because they are non-Muslims? No. It means that even a Buddhist, a Hindu must be taught that theft is something wrong. When the Sharia says, do not indulge in illegal sex, does it mean Sharia is only for Muslims? And we say that in a community, say for example in Islamabad, in Rawalpindi or in Istanbul or in Jakarta, you have Muslims and non-Muslim living together. Can you say that Muslims must guard their chastity, should not indulge in sex, but you fellow Chinese, fellow Hindus, fellow Christians, please go ahead and do as much bad deeds as possible? Can their society survive? Therefore, whatever Sharia has been given to us, it's Muslims' misperception. Muslims secret their custody. No. We are only conveyor, carrier. That's what the ayah says. We have been made you responsible to carry this mission, to share it and let people know what is right and wrong. Definitely, there will be areas where we have authority. In those areas, we must implement. But where we have no authority, we will not implement. If we are in America, in Europe, anywhere else, then Sharia ahkam cannot be implemented by taking law in your hand. But wherever Sharia is declared as state religion, definitely there state has an obligation. Even there, it's not individual, institutional approach. Therefore, the point here is that prime responsibility of the Ummah is to disseminate what is truth, what is right, what's given to us as a amana. And if we are not delivering this amana, then we are not fulfilling our responsibility. Therefore, the prophets of Allah were commissioned to remind people. They always tried to invite them to good. They never got frustrated. They worked for years and years, and sometimes more than centuries. And even when they could not get good number of followers, they never lost hope. They were always hopeful. Because the purpose is not to show results. The purpose is to get involved and fulfill our responsibility. All ahkam of the Quran and all judgments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are based on the intention and niyyah of the people. Therefore, if I am doing my job with clear intention and I keep on doing it for a whole century and I don't succeed, perhaps the people will assume I have failed. But in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those persons who declare Allah is their Rabb and then they adopt istiqamah, they are the successful, irrespective of whether they achieve the target in this world or they don't achieve it. Therefore, the Prophet and other prophets have been called by two words. They are going to communicate hope, what is good for people. They are mubashireen and munzireen. They also warn people that if you are not going to follow, then you are going to face consequences. So, the Ummah Muslimah has been designated to continuously get involved in Amr bil Maruf, which is a collective activity, individual activity, and not confined to just a few people.